All right, Kirby Smart had a lot to say about his team and several different players earlier this week when he spoke with the media, and that's what we're talking about in today's video, just breaking down where the team is at right now, which players are emerging, and which guys Kirby Smart had a lot to say about this week. So thanks for being here. I think it's only fair that we talk about Colby Young real quick. He was, I don't want to say star receiver. He was a really good receiver. But he is out pretty much indefinitely. Not sure he'll ever play with Georgia again. I don't think his football career is over or anything like that. But broken leg, he's out. And this is a big deal. That's what I'm trying to get at, because this guy was really starting to play really, really well. And when asked about his injury, Kirby Smart had a lot to say. I mean, it is clear that Kirby loves this kid. So this is a big setback for the Georgia offense. They've got weapons all over the place, but this guy was a little different. Here's what Kirby Smart had to say about Colby Young. He said, quote, "He had the best camp I think any receiver has ever had since I've been at Georgia in terms of day one to day 25 practice before the first game." So I believe he's talking about fall camp. That's insane. Right? This is the best receiver that he's seen go through fall camp in terms of getting better over a 3 to 4 week period. I mean, that's saying something. He was a senior. This is a guy who, was a leader and helped build the team chemistry that they have. He said, quote, "The physicality, the ownership, the accountability, the willingness to play different positions, it was slowly coming out in the season with his play. We found that he was one of the hardest guys to tackle, so his touches went up. He was the best point of attack blocker that we have. He was the best vertical guy, so it's unfortunate that it happened. It's part of football." Yeah, he did make a lot of plays, and the last play that he was in was a big play down the field to start the game. He had the big one down the sideline to start the game against Tennessee. This was a guy who is playing better and better and better. It is a big loss, but it allows other guys to step up. Noah Thomas is a good receiver. We're seeing more and more of him. But Kirby was asked about C.J. Wiley, the talented freshman that y'all have known about for a while. I've been talking about C.J. Wiley since he was a sophomore at Alpharetta High School. He transferred to Milton, got the big Georgia offer and every other offer. So y'all knew all about his recruitment. Y'all knew that he was 6'4", can really run, dominated his senior year at Milton, was just unguardable. High four-star guy. Again, y'all know all about him. Here's what Kirby Smart had to say. He said, "CJ's got size and speed. We knew that when we recruited him. We had a couple of really good fall days in the fall where he made plays in the vertical game. He reps. He's probably the one guy that spends the most time with our guys and less time with the scouts. Where those guys that go down with the scouts, they get a ton of reps and they get tons of work, and then they get to go up against the better defensive players. He's been in that rotation with our offense down there in practices, learning a little bit more of that game plan type of stuff, the nuances of what we're doing in terms of splits, what we're doing here. So he has a chance to really help us. He continues to get better. I'm proud of where he is in terms of getting better, and he's going to have a lot of opportunities this week to continue to grow and show us what he can do." So again, he's got height, he's got length, he's got ball skills. He was a highly sought after recruit for a reason, and he's a guy who now has an opportunity with Colby Young out. That's unfortunate, but it gives CJ a chance. If he has a couple really good weeks, I no doubt think we will see him playing against the Gators in Jacksonville. Staying on the offensive line, another player that Georgia fans need to really appreciate. He's not perfect, but it's Monroe Freeling at left tackle. This guy's been battling hard. He was before the Auburn game, before the Ole Miss game. This guy's been banged up, but he's been out there. He's playing well. The entire offensive line is starting to play better and better as the season moves along. But here was, someone asked him, I guess, about the decision to play him before the Auburn game. And here's what Kirby Smart had to say there. He said he didn't get to do a lot that week, so we don't know what he was going to make. It was a game time decision. I'm so sorry I read that completely wrong. That phone's blown up. I'm not a great multitasker, I am, but we're going to get back to it. He went out there in warm-ups and he felt good. Felt like he could go. He looked pretty good in warm-ups, but warm-ups are warm-ups. He's still got to get in the game and do it. As he's played in the game, he's gained more confidence in it, and he was able to sustain and play in that game, which gave him confidence, gained more confidence. He was able to sustain that in the game. I just read that line over. So we're going to stop. It's still early. But I'm trying to read Kirby Smart quotes. You can actually do it for yourself better than I can over on dawgpost.com because you can read everything over there. But this is a guy who's playing really well. That's the point that I'm trying to get. And Kirby Smart said a lot about him and his toughness, his grit. And you can see it with a lot of guys on the team, but Monroe Freeling has it. And when he's in there and he's playing well, the offense can really gel. And I thought he played well against Ole Miss, but they're rotating guys all over the offensive line. Kirby said the other day that this is about as healthy as that group has been. And he's able to say, hey, we can give a guy a break, Ernest Green a break, and put Juan Gaston in there because we are a little healthier and can mix and match whenever we feel like we need to, because they've been rotating guys all over the place. But when they're at their best, Monroe Freeling is at left tackle doing his thing. So you could read more about him over on dawgpost.com. There's a few defenders that I wanted to talk about as well, because I know a lot of people want to talk about the secondary. The secondary is the problem, this and that. The pass rush is a problem. I'm not saying they're wrong, but Kirby Smart is out here saying, hey, we know what we need to work on, and it's not necessarily the secondary. So that's his group. It's very close to him. He doesn't want to obviously throw them under the bus or anything like that and say they are the biggest issue. But I don't know if it's a scheme thing. It feels like when they're in zone coverage, they kind of get picked apart a little bit. And sometimes in man coverage down the field, they're susceptible to a pass interference call. So they've got to clean up everything in terms of excelling and executing the plan in different types of schemes. But it took them 3 full quarters to really get it going against Ole Miss. But one guy who made a big play in that game late, DeMello Jones, the second-year cornerback. Here's what Kirby Smart had to say about DeMello, who is a guy on the rise, playing better and better, and someone who could make a lot of plays down the stretch this season. Here's what Kirby Smart had to say about him. I'm going to try to read again. Bear with me. Quote, he's strong, physical, heavy-handed. He does well in man-to-man situations. He's got confidence to put hands on people and cover them. He's a really good basketball player in high school. He's growing and developing as a corner. He's growing and developing as a nickel cover guy. He's very open to being uncomfortable and learning, which I think is important for that position. He's only getting to the tip of the iceberg of what he can learn and play in the mindset. And he's a good football player. What you worry about is when you find some success. He's had some penalties. He's had some time where he's gotten beat, but what he hasn't done is let that change him. So this is a guy who's, number one, he's a natural athlete. When he was at Swainsboro, covered him obviously in high school in his recruitment. Guy plays all over the place. He's terrific with the ball in his hands. He's got burst. He's acceleration. He's got length, but he's a tough guy too. This is a Southeast Georgia. That's not middle Georgia, right? I think that's South Georgia. Rural. He's out in the boonies in Swainsboro. And best player in the area, always the best player on the field. And Georgia loved his athleticism and his length and his kind of twitchiness. And again, his toughness and physicality. And that's what Kirby Smart kind of praised him about this week. So that cornerback spot's kind of open for grabs. Haven't seen a ton of Daniel Harris unless I've just completely missed him. We've seen some Ellis Robinson, obviously, and DeMello Jones is really coming on and starting to play a role as well. Ja'Cory Thomas, he was asked about him, one of the safeties, again, and asked about his play against Ole Miss. He said, quote, he did some good things. He's been playing already. He just played more snaps. He's got to continue to get better and more consistent, but I'm pleased with what he's doing. He kept that one pretty short and sweet there. We'll see. I don't know the latest on Kyron Jones. I still think he's out for a considerable amount. We'll have to check on that, but they need improved play everywhere. And I made a video talking about the defensive linemen. He had a lot to say about 5-star freshman Elijah Griffin, Joshua Horton, Xavier McLeod, guys kind of doing the dirty work, not exactly lighting up the stat sheet, but I do think they've got 2 weeks to kind of tweak and get things going defensively. Offensively, if they get healthy, Gunner can get close to 100%. Monroe Freeling can get close to 100% and get that line healthier. They've got 2 weeks. They're playing with confidence right now. I think it was massive to have 500 yards of total offense going into a bye week because you're feeling good about where you are as a team, where you are as an offense. You know you can move the football and score points. Now it's about 2 weeks to prepare for Florida, get healthy, and continue to build on that confidence. But they have to do the same defensively as well. That seems to be what is holding them back. In times, it's really good. I mean, they only give up 10 points to Auburn, but then they give up, they have a really bad 3 quarters against Ole Miss. So It's been up and down. Got to find some consistency with this team, especially on defense, but now even on special teams. Peyton Woodring, you can't be kicking it out of bounds, dude. It cannot happen. Kirby was not happy with that after the Ole Miss game. So overall, got to get more consistent if they want to get where they want to go, and that's a national championship. They're not playing like the #1 team in the country. There's still plenty of football to be played. I think on any particular day, they can beat any particular team. But I do think this could come down to the best, healthiest team is going to win the whole thing. But still, you've got to execute when it matters on the field. And Georgia has 2 weeks to prepare for Florida. We will be there in Jacksonville with you. And really appreciate y'all watching. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next video.